We got DeMarcus Cousins.
We did get DeMarcus Cousins. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a clown. I still support the Rockets all the time.
Yeah.
That's my team. Uh, they got me back. You know, they got me back with DeMarcus Cousins and Wood. You know, who knows? Are we gonna keep? We're gonna keep whoever we want to keep. It's not like you can just be like, oh, James
Sorry.
Harden. Like we're gonna give away James Harden for bubble gum. Like we not. We're not gonna do that. But is he gonna be happy playing here? Is the question.
Yeah, that's an important piece because if you're not happy, then you're not going to put all into it.
The man
So
was happy. The man was happy here before. I feel like we'll still give him a whole bunch of money. I saw James Harden. I seen James
I
Harden
know he was
every
happy
major
here
loss.
before, but it's like being in a relationship. Sometimes when you started it, you was like, "Oh, I like her," and then at the end of it, you're like, "Nah."
I seen James Harden after every major loss. He was always having a good time. This last time he was out on a yacht with the little baby. Like he'll be all right.
That's
$50
true.
million. $50 million?
For 2 years, it's $100
Look,
million.
$50 million a year. Look, that make you feel better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went to work in the middle of a pandemic for 50,000. So, you know what I'm saying? Like 50 million? Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be all
To
right.
play basketball,
Yeah.
50 million. I
So
mean, that
he'll
makes
be all
sense.
right.
He'll be all right. He might be. You never know. Anyway, black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Houston down to my socks. Once again, it's In My Humble Opinion podcast. We're back. I'm one of your hosts, Avery like a very nice guy. Avery like a very nice guy. Also, I'm back with my brother, the co-host, Just Devon.
Yay.
Yay!
You know, I get excited. All right, here we go.
We're speaking about winning teams where somebody has a winning team behind him, and he's his own winning team. He's his own brand. He's actually, from me not knowing nothing about this gentleman to winning Dougbeezy's H-Town Rap Battle Championship to opening up for Bun B, he's definitely been working. His lyrics paint pictures and give you quotables and actually still make you jam. He's in your phone right now with things like Castle View, Before the Sunrise, Sunrise over Briargate, based on true events. What was it? 5 days as well. He has a lot of going on. One of the lines that I really liked was, I'm Sharp Boy, I got the stay flow. House full of bitches, love me like I'm John Stamos. I'm sorry. I liked it. I'm a Full House fan. It was pretty cold to me. It was cold to me. All right. Briargate's own Buddie Roe, ladies and gentlemen. Buddie Roe.
All right.
What is that? How y'all doing?
Good, good.
Great,
Southside Basquiat.
Basquiat, yes sir. Appreciate it.
Southside Basquiat.
Okay. Where do we get that name from? Why we take on that name?
John Michel Basquiat. You know, if you know about art, you know what I'm saying. You know his influence he's had on hip hop culture, from people to like Jay-Z to Rick Ross. You know, he even had like Reebok shoes. And I just like the fact that he painted his art the way he wanted to. And that was the thing that made it stand out more than anything, was the fact that it doesn't look like anything else. And this is like just legitimately him. And he's unapologetic in that. And so, you know, I felt like I was making my music the same way. I'm not trying to follow no waves. I'm not trying to ride nobody else's. I'm just trying to make my music in the most pure form. And, you know, just paint my picture the way I want to.
Okay. Now,
So what do you feel separates you from other rappers?
Just me being me, you know, and being unapologetic in that. I'm not trying to ride the wave at all. I'm not trying to do no trendy rap. I'm not trying to, you know, I'm just, I'm a lyricist at heart. I have a wide range of music that I'm influenced by, rather it be rock, rather it be country, rather it be, you know, whatever. I got a lot of music that I listen to, even like Zydeco. So I feel like right now, what y'all getting from Buddie Roe is just the beginning. I definitely have more gears to switch and go into. So
Right.
I don't know, just the level of gears I can take it to. and the diverse music I feel like I can provide.
All right, so I mean, let's switch back then to first gear. Let's go back to the very beginning. You are from Houston, but you're from a certain section of Houston, not actually Houston. What do you rep?
Bradgate is Mo City, but it's like Bradgate is right there on the edge of like Houston, and it's the beginning of Missouri City. So like I went to Willow Ridge High School, and if you type in Willow Ridge High School, it's like right in my neighborhood, but it's Houston.
Yeah.
Growing up, like we got Houston Police Department, like Missouri City Police Department don't come to our section. We get Houston everything, but it's still Fort Bend. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird because you know most city are annexed anyway. It pretty much is the city, but
Yeah. It is like a different flavor. We've talked to KO the Conspiracy, we talked to Delorean, we talked to Oblivious Jones and things like that. And there's always yeah, we're a part of Houston, but we're also Mo City. So what is it like growing up in Missouri City, and then how does that kind of influence your music?
I think it's diverse growing up in Missouri City. It's like depending on who you hang around, that'll pretty much determine your experience. And so like you have ways to get away from the trouble, kinda. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a place where if you don't wanna be in trouble, you don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? You can, depending on who you brought up around, you know what I'm saying? But it is easier to kind of get away. We got our surrounding areas is like the suburbs, you know what I'm saying? But like kind of as you move closer into Mo City, it kind of get a little more like rugged. And so the fact that it was diverse, I think it just made me more well-rounded and more accepting of things because like when I was younger, I stayed only in Bradgate, which is you know, how I explained, it's like pretty much a part of Houston. And, you know, it was just a certain vibe over there. Like people were kind of more infatuated with the streets in those parts. That's where Oblivious Jones and Delorean from as well. We all from the same section. But also my mama made sure that I didn't go to all the schools over there. So like I went to Bradgate Elementary, and then like that was kind of like what all of the people that people deem as troublemakers went, and they went to McCullough and then Willow Ridge. But I went to Bradgate Elementary, then I went to First Colony Middle School, which is like pretty much Sugarland. So I was out there with like white people, and so yeah, I was coming back to the hood like wearing DCs and Sauconys and stuff like that. But sure, but yeah, then eventually I ended up going to high school back in my area, and so yeah, just seeing that it was more to life, and then also seeing how many people are kind of being left behind in life by just the things that they dealing with their surroundings. You know what I'm saying?
Now there are also artists. I mean, we talk about like, I mean, Zero's from Mo City.
Obviously.
The influence, like when you're coming up and you're seeing artists that are coming out of Mo City that are getting regional and then national fame. You know, Zero out here rapping with Jay-Z and things like that. So it's like when you see all of these people that are coming from an area that you come from, is that what influences you to start to get into music, or what is it that brings you towards music?
And I would say that's an element of it for sure. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing that any given day, really like you could go to school and then somebody that day will be like, yeah, I seen Zero this weekend. You know what I'm saying? And then you look up and like you say, he rapping with Jay-Z, who was the biggest artist, you know what I'm saying? Probably the most important figure in hip hop right now. That was definitely inspiring. But I would also say what brought me towards the music is probably the house that I lived in. You know, my parents were big music heads. My dad, he grew up like he played the bass. And then like he was just a music head. He was one of the first people in like Mo City when we moved over there. Was like riding slabs hard, and so like I just grew up in a house around music. My mama used to always make me like entertain people when I was little, like whenever people came over, whatever.
Like all moms tend to do.
But I mean, in a sense, it was like it was molding me to express myself in a creative manner, no matter if it would have been music or not. You know what I'm saying? It just ended up being music. That was the thing that took over.
Absolutely. Now, was your mom interested in you heading towards the musical path?
Yes. I mean, it was a period in time where they was just trying to figure out, is it something that I'm really passionate about, or am I just saying that like every other black kid? You know what I'm saying? So I think when I showed them, because you know I have both of my parents in my life. My dad plays a huge role. That's my dog, and so like they wanted me to do things that were more certain, of course. Like, you know, they wanted me to go like to the military, all type of stuff like that. But when they saw how serious I was about music, it was kind of like from then on, it was no more questions. It was like, go ahead and do your thing. And then when the progress started coming with it, it was like, yeah, go ahead. And they're very supportive. So
that's great.
Was there a specific event that you could remember where they were like, okay, he's serious?
It's been a couple times. I don't know about the first one.
Okay.
But I know for sure one of the things that just like got him off of my back as far as that was like I just made a statement, and J. Cole had a song, and on the song he was just like, only thing worse than death is a regret-filled coffin. And so I texted that to my mama one day when I was like in high school, and they was kind of on me about that. Either go to college or go to the military, do something, just get out of Bradgate. And I just was like, you know, I texted him that, and that was one of the things that let him know, like, nah, he not playing. He don't want to just be like, you know, just a regular person. He want to chase something. Mm-hmm. And I feel like from that day on, it was just a series of events that just like more so. My dad always said like the thing that impressed him most is the fact that I haven't stopped, and the fact that I don't look like I'm about to stop anytime soon, which is the case. And so I feel like it's more so things like that where they was like, oh, okay, he's pushing for real, for real.
Absolutely.
What gives you the drive to not stop?
I want to see what the journey got in store for me. You know, I feel like you're not blessed with these gifts for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So I take my gift pretty serious. I take my walk with God very serious, and I feel like they one and the same. And I feel like the more and more I get deep into this journey, it teaches me things like patience, like having faith, like, you know, trusting God more, because this journey is gonna try you. The journey where you just like gonna do what everybody else told you to do, you know, just lay it up, get nothing against a 9-to-5 or anything, but just doing that and that's it. You know what I'm saying? That journey don't really bring that side out of you, because you pretty much just go clock in, go home, rest. This is gonna make you actually build your character. You know what I'm saying? To the highest amount. And so it's just, I don't know, that I like the journey. I love my music. I love the places it's taking me. The perspective is provided, and so it's just like I'm not stopping until it's probably a clear sign saying maybe you need to stop, but it ain't none. So I'm just keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about then. You know, you start early on. You're putting out music, right? You start to gain. I mean, when we're talking about 2017, you won a rap battle. You'd already been putting out music before that, but you're starting to gather or garner success. Winning that rap battle that's with names like Slim Thug and Dougbeezy that are back and associated. what was it like? How'd you get involved in that? And then what was it like seeing the success right after that, after winning?
Man, how I got involved. Okay, so it starts with my bro Hugh Guyton.
Yes.
We was a part of a collective called A&F. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of like, I was like a little bro, because I was super young. Like when I joined A&F, I was straight out of high school. So I was like 18, 19 around Hugh Guyton while he was working on, while he had just released Blue Heart. And I think this was 2015, I believe. And, you know, I met Doe at one of the shoots for Blue Heart. And he just started coming to Q House all the time. And we just all had built our relationship like that. And so when he decided to come up with the H-Town rap battle, for some reason, it's like, I don't know, sometimes I be in my head a little more than I should, especially then. But Doe was just like, bro, you gotta get in it. Cause he had heard me before anybody else had heard me. Like it was times before anybody recognized who I was. He was like, bro, like I give you like a year and you definitely gonna be ringing some bells. And so when he decided to come up with the rap battle, he was like, bro, you gotta come do it. You gotta come do it. And I was like, man, I don't know. And then I remember one day, cause I was like, I didn't want people to recognize me as a battle rapper. I didn't want people to just think competition when they think about me. I wanted people to think about the music. You know what I'm saying?
At that time, like he's telling you to come out, like you're saying people still didn't even recognize you necessarily. Like a lot of people might not even know you were rapping like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's telling you, get in the battle and let's just go forward. Okay. So keep going.
Yeah, so I mean, it was one day outside of the French Fry House. I don't know if y'all been there. It's owned by my boy Chef Boy Chops. We was all outside there. We was celebrating the grand opening, and then like something just hit me, and I was like, you know what, bro, I'm gonna do it. He was like, bro, I'm telling you, like that's a good decision, and I mean, it definitely was a good decision.
It was.
Now, what was that like winning?
It was, I mean, it was an experience. I definitely appreciated it. It just felt good. You know what I'm saying? Like you winning in front of like legends.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like I had never really, truth be told, I hate when people be like making stuff like super, I don't know, woe is me. But truth be told, like I had never won nothing like that. Like raffles in school, you know, just little shit like that. I never won nothing like that. But that was one thing that kind of directly reflected like my work ethic. You know what I'm saying? I had control over that win. And so it felt a lot better than like just a money in a pot and a guess or whatever. Like the people chose me. And so I think that felt better than anything. Was the fact that the people was like, nah, he won. You know what I'm saying? So,
People that's what's up.
Is that what queued up the Rap Caviar show at the Revention Center? Was that before? That happens after, right?
Yeah, that happens after. That definitely opened that. Shout out Bonafide. I always make sure I show my love to him. That was my first manager, and he definitely like just kind of grabbed me up, and didn't have to at all. And he just grabbed me and called me one day and was like, you know, have 2 songs ready for Spotify, Rap Caviar. No, he just called and asked, was I going? I was like, nah, I ain't got no ticket or whatever. And he was like, okay, well, you performing? He was like, have 2 songs ready. Ooh. And so I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't saying nothing. Okay. And so I pulled up, and man, that night was so legendary. We was in there chilling with Bun and Queenie, And this is my first time like really meeting him. I didn't know. I met Bun for the first time at the rap battle, but that was my first time interacting with him on a more personal level. And like I'm just in there catching the vibe. It's me, Doe, Neek the Skits. Mind you, Mike Dean them in the other room. It's Queenie and it's Bun B. And I'm a huge basketball fan. I'm not gonna lie. Chris Paul walked in there. I was like,
Wow.
Dougbeezy just texted me because he know how much I like basketball too. He just texted me and was like, "Fucking legendary," all caps. I was like, "Yes, bro." Yes. And that whole night was amazing. And yes, it definitely was queued up by the rap battle, but also major credit go to Bonafide for that opportunity.
That's fantastic. Because what's it like when you're doing, I mean, that's a huge, the Revention Center is a large center. Was that your biggest show up to that point?
No question. It's still my biggest show.
Okay. So what is that like walking out? Because the other thing too is you're opening up for Bun B. So it's always a big thing with an opener. I'm getting exposed to the largest crowd I've seen, and I got to win that crowd over. Like, I got 2 songs to get this crowd to win over. So what was that experience like?
Man, I just felt like when I walked out on that stage, I hate to sound arrogant, but I just felt like I was ready. And at that moment, that was a kind of cornerstone moment for me too, because it was like, oh, this not intimidating. Like being in front of all of these people, being in front of like 5,000 people, and they don't know you. It didn't really shake me like that, like I thought it would.
Okay.
And I was like, man, maybe I might be built for this, you know.
Did you play a sport or anything?
I hooped.
Okay, you hooped, because that comes across when we see you on video, on anything. You're not scared, and you'll be like Southside Basquiat. Number one, amazing video. I have been obviously to Briargate, and I'm like, this looks like it needs to be played on MTV.
Yeah.
It looked really good, but you're never scared. Even the stuff that you put out online, you're never scared. I just want to commend you on that, because I'm like, you can see that you have a real presence.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, no, I'm not. My daddy didn't raise me like that. And I feel like, you know, we got voices for a reason. I feel like everybody is a man. I just got to live in truth. I can't live in nothing else. And so if I feel some type of way about anything, I'm going to speak it. I'm going to be respectful. But I'm going to speak it. And I feel like on the court, in sports, it definitely translates to life. And that's definitely something that I got from that too. My dad actually a coach. He coached me growing up.
All right, that's real.
Does he ever coach you on like anything you're doing right now, where he's like, yo, I like this, I like the visuals on this, I like that?
Yeah, he's sidelined for the music stuff. He definitely give his input. But
He's sidelined.
Yeah, he's sidelined. He like, nah, this ain't my area of expertise. I'm gonna let you do that. But he definitely just he like my number one fan. And he just be in my corner, so that's all I need from him anyway.
That's excellent, man. Tell us about your the work that you just released.
Oh, Owner's Manual.
Yeah.
So Owner's Manual, that's a project. Little history on that. I just got off the phone telling somebody about this. I'm surprised that it actually had the reception that it had, because I really planned on releasing a full album this year. You know, a full rollout with visuals and everything, but this was just a crazy year, you know, and I wasn't able to deliver like I felt like I should have.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to deliver a body of work, you know, just letting people know where my head is, give the whatever audience I have something to enjoy, and, you know, just let my presence be felt musically. And so once I got to the end of the year, I was like, man, I'm finna just make this little bop. I got a beat pack from Quentin Singleton. He a producer out the north side, definitely talented. He the one who produced the whole project except for the last one. That second press. They both sent me beat packs, and I ran through, like, he sent me 5 beats. Q sent me 5 beats. I hopped on all 5 beats. Those are like the first 5 beats that you hear on the songs. I mean, on the project owner's manual. And then I got the outro from second prayers late in the process. And I was just like, man, I'm gonna just have a little fun with it. I ain't gonna put too much into it because I have something in the works like that is gonna be dealt with like a baby. I just kind of wanted to get the people something to enjoy for a little while so we can, get through this season.
Why owner's manual?
It's a declaration. In the name is what I'm going after. I'm not I spent the large point in my career feeling like getting a deal was the end goal. And I feel like a lot of people still think like that. Less people do now. I'll give you that. There's way more people that's independent minded now. But I just came up in that transitioning phase. You know what I'm saying? I graduated high school when I was 2014. My favorite rapper is J. Cole and Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? They both got deals. And so I just felt like that was the thing. Like, get to a record label, pay your dues, boom, become a superstar. And so owner's manual is just a declaration to myself and to everybody that's watching. Is like, I had a pivot. I hit a pivot point, and it was like, nah, it's not about getting to a label. It's about building yourself as a brand and making sure you're leveraging yourself to where when you is at them tables with those people, then you're not at their mercy. So it's just a declaration. Shout out all the independents too. Like Doe Man, that's one of the people who business model I look at and I like.
He's awesome.
Stopper, Currency on a higher level, Dom Kennedy, Nipsey, they all laid the platform, and I just feel like, that is the way. That's the way every artist should be trying to go.
Absolutely. What made you decide to pivot? Like, what was the instance where you said, you know what, let me shift from I'm trying to go for a label to let me just do this on my own?
I moved to LA with all intent of staying. Every intent. And I was like, bro, I'm not coming back without a record deal.
Yeah.
And I was out there, I was grinding. I was going out to events every night, and I was like killing it. I was going in. I was definitely getting love, especially when they found out like I was from Houston and I could like rap like I can rap. I was definitely getting love, but I had just realized, what did I come here for? And I realized, I told myself, I was like, bro, you here to get signed. I didn't know. It was just a subconscious thing. I'm doing all of these things like, oh yeah, you got to move to LA to get on. You got to do this, but what is your version of getting on? You know what I'm saying? Is your version of getting on getting a record deal? Or is your version of getting on having 1,000 people that genuinely listen to your music and feel like you they favorite and they buying everything that you drop? You know what I'm saying? And all of that is coming to your pockets. So I just had to reevaluate my definition of success. And a part of me was like weighing it up to popularity and notoriety. And yeah, that's all good. But at the end of the day, you're a successful musician when you're making a living off of your music. So,
how difficult was it to make that switch? I mean, a lot of people, from the perception of becoming a musical artist or anything that involves fame, I'm trying to get a whole lot of people to look at me at all the same time. It's a big shift. Like even some of the artists you name, like you're naming like a Currency or a Dom Kennedy or something like that, who we all know. But there are plenty of people that don't know. And I feel like Currency and Dom Kennedy and all of them are super happy. That's the people that I would model myself after. If I had the ability to have a career, it's like, yo, I can go to the grocery store and I can like get on a jet if I felt like it. So what is that like How difficult was it to make that mindset, that switch to be like, you know what? I need to readjust my version of success.
It wasn't hard. It was like when it hit me, it hit me. It was like, I can't deny this. And so I don't know how it would be for anybody else, but I know for me, it was like relatively easy. Once I seen where I was coming up short in my mindset, it was just like, nah, you just gotta change it, because you putting yourself in a bad situation. You putting yourself at the mercy of everybody that you come across. Just thinking like that, and I feel like I'm a person that don't want to be silenced. I feel like I got something to say that's beyond what somebody can hang over my head and be like, nah, don't say this in this song. And the only way you can do that is if you actually have leverage, and you can demand creative control from whoever you decide to go into business with.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
so now that you've made that shift, how do you measure success? What's your measurement? I mean, I guess before would be like, yo, if I'm signed, I'm successful. If I sell 10 million copies, I'm successful. And we've seen so many stories of major artists that are like, yeah, I had all that and I was the brokest that I ever was in life. You know, that kind of thing. So I felt completely unsuccessful. So now that you've made that shift in your mindset, what is it that you look for? What are some of the signs and things you look for to say, okay, I'm going about this, I'm successful at what I'm doing right now?
Well, I feel like you always measure success differently, and it depends on what your goal is at that moment. And for me, I measure success like an executed vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I have a plan that needs to be carried out for a project and I execute that all the way through thoroughly, and I meet my goals, whether they small or large, because sometimes with large goals, they take a little while to come about. You know what I'm saying? But if you can reach those small goals, then you know that's success. You know what I'm saying? And then you start over to build towards the bigger success, which is making this living for your family. And you know what I'm saying? It's actually being that thing that builds generational wealth.
Now, what kept you? I mean, you came back to Houston. Why, in terms of Houston, we talked about Mo City and its importance, but Houston in general, because even, you know, you pointed out earlier, you said, you know, they were feeling me out there because you have a very lyrical form of rap, and you come from Houston. They like the way I rap, and I'm also from Houston. Houston is popping in a lot of areas. They like that sound. What is it about Houston that keeps you here? And why is the city so important to you?
Well, I mean, the government shutdowns are keeping me here. That's what's
right. You moved out there in the middle of a pandemic.
Man, before the pandemic, but I came back like right there, in February when the close downs was about to happen.
Okay.
So I didn't know. I just had shows out here, and I had to make a decision. Truth be told, like, get these two plane flights. I mean, get this plane flight and go out there and do some shows, or you know, do I keep on making it happen like with rent or whatever I hear? And I was just like, man, look, I'm here because of the music. I could, you know, I could get enough to stay out here if I wanted to force the issue, but I was just like, man, look, these are so far sound shows. That's a really good platform, and that's what I'm in this for. I'm trying to, you know, build myself. I'm not just here to say, oh, I moved to LA. So if the opportunity is in Houston, that's where I'm gonna be at. If the opportunity is in Atlanta, that's where I'm gonna be at. If the opportunity is in Chicago, that's where I'm gonna be at. My home is Houston, so it's easy to come back, but the focus is not staying here. The focus is going wherever the people are listening and where the demand is.
Absolutely. Now the other thing too is when you talk about, we've talked about you as Jeff, and we were talking about this before, being a complete artist. You're also have a strong focus on visuals. Whether it's like I said, we've seen you in the context freestyles, but even as owner's manual, the rollout for owner's manual has you with some real strong visuals. Is that coming from a media takeout for Q Studio?
All right, so the location was the media block.
Yeah.
But the person shot it, her name Troya Brooks, Poetic 517 on Instagram. That's POETIK 517. And she just, man, she be working behind the scenes like so much. Like if you sit and talk to her, you know, you wouldn't, she's not the most flamboyant, but she's worked on like a bunch of major projects and, you know, she worked with a bunch of dope people. She's just the person behind the scenes.
Her work shows. Because like I said, you pick a lot of professional people that really get across that the visual and the audio aspect of your craft. Like how important was it for you, I guess early on, to be making sure that you're marrying the visuals and the audio together?
Excuse me. Man, I get a lot of that from Q Guidance. Truth be told, like he was having like the most. I used to sit there and watch him because he make his own videos, and so I used to just sit there and watch him just be super diligent and learning and be at the computer for like hours. And another friend I got named Freddie Noah Conan, he was like the same way, just they just have different styles, but I just used to see them working, and they'll tell me certain things about like maybe aperture or, you know, editing, and it just made me understand more like how important visuals are to projects, to songs, because I mean, you could have a dope song, and if the visual ain't matching, then you know what I'm saying, you really lowering your chance of people actually really rocking with that song.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know. I just was taught that. I seen people working on visuals at a high level, and I was like, that's where I want my visuals at. I don't want to really put nothing out if it's not gonna be at a high level.
Now, also in terms of artists, because I always feel like you almost move like you're backed by a major label. Like you just have a good work ethic about you. Mm-hmm. You've been featured with some top tier Houston artists. Like, one, how are these features occurring? And two, what I mean, just name a couple of the ones where you were just like, wow, like I'm here. This is great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Talk about like getting those features, because it's not overshadowing your work. It's just showing like a lot of people are out here looking at you.
Yeah, I mean, my manager, he's actually from LA, and he was saying that he was like, it's like you might not have the biggest following, but it's like the followers that you do have, people are tuned in. And so, I mean, I can't really call it on that, like how it would be happening, you know, it just be a gift. But I do just continue to work, and sometimes I feel like once you take that step in the right path, you know, he gonna do the rest of it. And you know, I don't know, I just be going, and then sometimes the opportunity will just pop up out of there. But as far as artists like worked with, of course, Dougbeezy, like that opportunity came from that just being broke. We used to like, me, him, and Q used to just play Monopoly all the time. So, you know, we in there arguing everything, like, you know what I'm saying?
Dougbeezy roasting people, I know.
Yeah, for sure. You know, but everybody at that table had, you know, had that ability. We was all there. But yeah, man, just that was easy to make. Anything with dough will be easy to make. It's almost too easy. Because he just a call away. Same with Delorean. But Slim Thug, the one with Slim, that was pretty crazy, because he was on Instagram live in front of like hundreds of people, and probably thousands, and was like, what's that dude what's that dude from the H-Town rap battle, Buddie Roe or something like that. And people started like tagging in this thing. It was like Buddie Roe. Like, yeah, I want to get him on this motorsport freestyle. And so I didn't see the live. Doe hit me and told me, and I was just like, what? Slim? Like, no question. You know what I'm saying? Send the beat.
Now people didn't start calling you?
As far as what?
When he said, "Oh, I'm looking for Buddie Roe," and people start tagging you and things like that.
Man, my auntie called me. That was the first like person outside of outside of like the rap realm that was like, "Hey, Slim Thug said your name on the live." Like, yeah, Slim Thug said. I was actually confused until Doe hit me. It's just now coming to me. I remember exactly how I felt because I was like, what? And then, because, you know, she move and shake around, but it just surprised me that she would say something like that. And then when Doe called me, everything just made more sense. I was like, oh, okay. Then it's real.
Okay. So she was just like, yo, Slim Thug mentioned you, I think, and you just confused about what happened.
Yeah, well. I don't know what's going on.
So what was that like recording the freestyle?
I mean, it was dope. We did it at our studio. At the time I was with this collective, we called ourselves Briar Avenue. We had a studio on like Richmond, in Houston, and I was just there, and I was there recording all the time. Then, like, I used to be there from like sun up to sundown, and so when I got the call, I was already in the studio. So it was just like, let's just knock it out. There's an opportunity. Like, I'm finna send this boy back to Slim in less than however long. I probably got the verse done in maybe like 15 minutes and was like, send it, and it was gone.
Now that you're talking about, you say you got owner's manual. You have something else coming out, but is that like under wraps right now?
No, it's not under wraps. It's just really because really, like I said, I didn't expect owner's manual to do as well as it's doing. It's like 22K streams right now.
Yeah.
And so I was just expecting to feed the streets, and you know, it kind of just appealed to who it was going to appeal to, which I wasn't tripping. I'm just trying to give art right now. But when I seen it moving like that, you know, I was like, man, I'm gonna give a little more, and I don't care if it do as well as owner's manual is doing. It's just more so for the people that kept streaming, and you know what I'm saying, sent it to their homeboys or whatever, posted it on their stories, whatever they did to help that number go. I just wanted to do something to release for them. So just a couple more tracks.
Oh, okay.
We've seen a lot of people like come up from nothing to something, but something that I've noticed about you is you're really well adjusted. It's like you have this not care attitude, but it doesn't come off as cocky. Where does that come from?
I don't know. A lot of stuff I really don't care about. That's just the truth. Like, I care about meaningful stuff, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, just industry stuff and, you know, playing politics or just anything of the sort, I really don't participate in. I just kind of stay in my own lane. You know, it'd be a bunch of real life stuff going on, just like for other people, and I'm aware of that. And so it's like, I'm just grateful at every moment that I'm able to do this music and like do things like this where people can actually appreciate my art. So it's like, what matters outside of that? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we just ungrateful about a bunch of things, and I feel like, you know, maybe that's something we need to all just, you know, look into.
How does your faith play into your music, though? Because you can tell that you're a pretty faith-based guy.
Yeah, I mean, it play all the way into it. I mean, more so my life, because my music is just a reflection of my life. And so it's not nothing that I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I'm not forcing anything. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, I don't feel like you even letting God use you at that point. But you just got to get up and whatever come to your brain that day, do that. Don't ignore it. And you know, it'll reflect on whatever you saying, because you can't, to me, I just can't front and fake. I'm not in my music, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can do it, but I would prefer not to. And I don't know, it just allow a bunch of freedom for me to just say what I want. I can say my God name in my music. I can you know what I'm saying, praise him if I want to, or you know, or I can keep it funky with you and just be a scribe and just tell you what's going on in the real world and how that applies to, you know, my faith. So I don't know, I just be going, you know, creating.
Yeah.
Well, besides we got new music that's coming out from you, let fans know like where they can find you, what anything else you got coming out, things like that. Just so they know to you know, keep in contact and make sure they know all the stuff that's coming out.
Definitely. Well, you could first off follow me on Instagram, Buddie Roe 7100. That's BUDDIE ROE 7100. I used to have a Twitter. I don't know. Maybe they could drop comments or something telling me if I should come back to Twitter, because
Come back to Twitter. You should
come back to Twitter.
Get on Twitter. Get on Twitter. There's a lot of people on Twitter. There's a lot of Houston people on Twitter. Like, get on Twitter.
It's the best one. I promise you.
Well, yeah, and that's the same thing. Everything is Buddie Roe 7100. And I mean, you can follow me on Spotify, Buddie Roe. You know, just follow me, tap in. You know what I'm saying? We continuing to work. Next year, 2021.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna just really mention too much, because you know that might ruin it a little bit.
We get it.
Cliffhanger. Something's coming. You know what I'm saying? And I think y'all gonna appreciate it. And
if
I
know, you know. Yeah.
My manager is definitely happy right now, because he see this and he like, man, you told him.
I understand.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Because
one more thing I have to ask. Where does the name Buddie Roe come from?
Man, that's just a family name. Like my daddy, he when he brought me home from the hospital, he used to call me Papa. And then somehow that graduated to Buddy. And then my grandma, she used to call me all type of like derivatives of Buddy, like Buddy Love, Buddy Lee, and one of them was Buddie Roe.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so when I got older, one of my close friends found out that was my name, because people was just calling me by my government when I was like 12, 13. They used to call me by my government, but he started coming around my family, and he seen people was calling me Buddie Roe, and so people just started calling me that outside of my family, and I was just like, you know, that's who I am. That's why I'm comfortable being called. People don't got my government just floating around out here, and that's always comforting.
Makes sense. Oh, so we got what you we're talking about. Look, we appreciate you coming on, and you know, we're always looking forward. Oh, like I was saying, you know, whenever you got whatever you got coming out, when it comes out, we just gonna cut it with this little clip and let them know, like, you can let your manager know you didn't spill the beans, so you good.
For sure. Appreciate that. Appreciate y'all having me, man.
We want to thank you for coming out, man. You have been lighting up the streets. We've been fans. I've liked you since I saw you and Q Guyton on the it was a freestyle for goodness, how am I forgetting that song?
Sorry, not sorry.
You said what?
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. That video was awesome. When you're walking down the light rail, jump up, hit the thing, I was like, what is this?
That's cute. That's Q and Gino. Shout out Gino. You know what I'm saying? Like that A&F experience was something else. Like we had a crew like no other, and I'm still super tapped in with all of them. But like, yeah, that was Gene. Impress Cuts on Instagram, MPRS _KUTZ. And he shot it. Q edited it, and you know, it was a knock out the park on the lyrics.
That's awesome, man. Once again, thank you for coming out. We see this man, Buddie Roe. He shows you the value of actually just wanting to build up your brand and really being yourself. And that's what we're all about here on In My Humble Opinion podcast. I've been one of your hosts, Avery Like a Very Nice Guy. Also with my brother, the co-host, Just Devon. Boom, Just Devon. In My Humble Opinion, thank you. Humbly yours. Good night.